I had a thing, Pat McGuire, about sometimes it's how people react to something that you say. And a lot of times when you're accused of something, it's how you react. You know, if you sit there and like, yeah, you know, whatever, you're like, okay, maybe they were like, oh my God, how dare you? Oh my God, there's no way you could say that. Oh, then you're like, okay, well, wait a minute, what do we get? You struck a little nerve there, did we not, about something that's getting brought up. And I understand that playing quarterback in the NFL is a very, very hard job. And Deshaun Watson doesn't need any help from me. But I'm going to send him one little piece of advice about how he should navigate this from here on out. There's been this trend going on right now with the Cleveland Browns about the sleuths on Twitter and the steel frame shots and the throw he's not making and this and that. And I think he is handling this so poorly. And in a little way, it comes back to, are we striking a little nerve with Deshaun Watson? So we got to talk about that. We'll hear from him yesterday. Kevin Stefanski, Browns gearing up for the Commanders. I'm getting worried about Jayden Daniels, man. He is pretty damn good. We're going to run through CBS Sports' 5 biggest questions around the NFL entering Week 5. And one of those, where do we think Jayden Daniels ranks amongst NFL quarterbacks? Boy, is it up that list right now. So we'll get going for that. Guards! They don't even play, Pat. Let's go. Freaking Tigers, man. Freaking Royals. Who would have seen that coming? You're guaranteed a team making the ALCS from the poor old American League Central. It's going to be the freaking Guards, though. Watch that. We'll get ready for the series. Again, I'd like to do it tomorrow, and I'm sure we're going to spend a lot of time. Today, Pat, I want to do the deep dive. I already started doing some of it this morning about us versus the Tigers, some players who played well against them, some guys who pitched well against the Tigers this year as we get ready to go for Saturday, Monday. We'll get that figured out. Tonight, we got a do or die game for the I am the kiss of death. Whatever I tell you to bet on baseball, do the opposite. Please take my sacrifice for you to win because I am ice cold when it comes to picking these games right now. Do or die tonight for the Mets and the Brewers to do. We got some football tonight. We got a little playoff baseball. It's going to be a good night. We got that. We'll get to time up. We got the grid, little morning update. We got it all on a beautiful fall feeling Thursday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Pat McGuire. Happy to have you alongside. You can always be following us on Twitter, X, at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on YouTube. You can always catch us on the Twitch stream as well. Just search It's Official. It's big news. This has nothing to do with sports. Do you know the band 3 Days Grace?
I do.
Adam Gonter is back.
Okay.
This means nothing
Noted.
to a generation.
Noted.
I was a big 3 Days Grace fan. Okay. And when he left, it ripped it apart.
3 Days Grace, 311 for you. Who else you got?
It's a lot of threes. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
I love it.
I'm trying to send a snarky tweet here. As a child of the 2000s, this is huge news. There we go.
Huge news.
He's back.
Good way to start the day.
It's good. Great way to start the day. Get my tickets,
Good
man.
vibes.
I'm back. I'm
Good
in.
vibes.
I'll go see it. Because, there was one band, there's always those bands that you never saw.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, damn, for me, I never saw Linkin Park. And it is never going to be the same. I'll never go.
Yeah.
It's just, you're angry. I don't even know if I even ever had the opportunity, but I never did. So you look back on bands before they break up, and you're like, man, and it's different than our parents' generation. My dad's like, I saw the Doors. I'm like, well, that's me, right?
Like, I compete with that. Right,
how are you going to compete? But
Yeah.
everybody thinks their generation's music is better than whatever.
Best concert you have seen, though, Matt?
Ooh. Well, again, I've been to 15 311 shows.
Okay.
So, I've got a ranking of those.
Sure.
We went to a 3-day. They do 311 day every year. We went to a 3-day concert in Vegas, 3 nights, over 100 songs. It was COVID.
Oh, man.
Dude, we got there that Tuesday. Rudy Gobert.
Oh, my God.
We watched the Pac-12 basketball tournament get shut down, and we were stuck in Vegas. That's a whole story for another time of us getting the hell out of there. Outside of that, Stone Temple Pilots was really good. I saw Phil Collins when he came to town a couple years ago.
To see that one.
I wanted to go see Genesis because they came back. We didn't end up going to that. Phil was really good. Stone Temple Pilots with Scott Weiland before he passed away was really good.
Yep.
I don't know. What about you?
Man, big Bruce Springsteen fan.
Okay.
Seen him,
I don't really
I
do
think
it for me.
6
That's
or 7
okay.
times.
That's
but,
all right.
yeah,
That's
fine.
okay.
But,
That's all right.
Yeah,
I respect. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the Beatles. I don't necessarily care for Bruce Springsteen,
Fair
but
enough.
I respect it. I respect it very much, so I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be Bruce.
I would say, seeing him, I would say that's a pretty good one. So if you got any of those, jump on the YouTube channel. We'll take them on Twitter as well.
At Matt Fontana Show.
That is it right there. Nobody cares about 3 Days Grace but me. And the thing is, you'll understand this as you get a little bit older, too. When you go see bands that you loved when you were a kid and now they're like in their 50s and they're kind of fat. We went to go see Newfound Glory, and they were, punk rocker and tattooed, and Yellow Card was on that, too. That was a good-ass concert. And you walk in, you're like, dude, you look like a dad that's about to get in line to pick their kids up from school. And like, it's just, you got to understand there's change.
There's some music eras in particular, too, that just don't lend itself to longevity.
There's not a longevity thing there.
Like Bruce Springsteen, he's like not to the level he was in the 80s.
I don't think you were going to go see Motley Crue and expect them to kind of be the same, that kind of stuff. So that certainly happens, and my generation is getting to that, which is kind of a sad
Like, my
thing.
girlfriend and I just saw Journey at the ballpark. And
how was that?
It was good. They still have the same, they've got a new singer or whatever, and he sounds identical.
Going to see Journey without Steve Perry is hard, but like he ain't ever coming back.
Exactly,
well, here's the thing, too, about bands. What do they all do?
They
all say, they break up.
Yep.
And then imagine in a couple years, Journey goes, one more tour. We're bringing Steve Perry back. Billions.
Man.
Billions. Some 41. Some 41 was my favorite band growing up. Derek left, finally. And I've seen them multiple times, so scratch that off. But they've had lineup changes. So I saw them. That's fine. But, Journey...
Yeah.
That's one. Def Leppard. Obviously Rod Stewart, that. Those are some that you go because you want to say you saw some of these bands.
Yeah, Billy Joel would be that for me, like at the stadium the other day. I have no interest, but I'd go.
That's one you just want to tell people you saw Billy Joel. Is that something you want to fill your bucket up with? Like, oh, yeah, I saw this guy or that. Like, I didn't. We started talking Watson. I swear to God, we're going to get to Deshaun Watson. Really anything to avoid this conversation because I'm really pissed off about it. Bro, we have our tickets for Creed. And I am jacked. I am so excited to go see Creed. That's in like a couple of weeks.
That's going to be a crazy good show.
It's going to be awesome.
Talk about a resurgence, too. I understand the TikTok and everything.
That's it.
They slapped.
That's it.
I don't care what anybody says. Creed and Nickelback slapped before
thank
TikTok.
you.
I don't care.
Thank you.
I do not care.
It's fun to
come at
hate
me
on
with
them,
that.
but you hate on them because they're that good. Creed and Three Doors Down is their opener. I want to see Three Doors. I'm more excited to see maybe Three Doors Down than I didn't.
Oh, yeah. You got a 3.
God bless. Dude,
you know the rule of 3 or whatever they say?
Yeah.
There's
Well, that's
3
usually
things.
celebrity deaths or the rule of 3 on that.
I think it's more than celebrity
But now
deaths,
that'll be actually seeing Three Doors Down will now be, now I got to go see 3 Days Grace, and that'll be all 3. 311, 3 Days Grace, and I'll go see Three Doors Down. Done and done. The universe is coming aligned. I just have to get a reunion tour now with 3 Days Grace now that Adam is back, and we'll just knock that on out. We'll be done and done. The universe provides. I am very jacked for Creed, though. I am very excited to go see Creed in a couple of weeks. So add that to the list. All right, we got to talk show. Anything else? Any other bands? Any other thing you want to talk
all
about?
clear.
It's because this is a conversation. I sent out that this is getting tired. I'm getting tired of this. And somebody goes, well, I'm getting tired of you bitching about it on Twitter. Okay, fine. Yeah, thanks. I blocked that person. And you know what? I'm going to go and block them. I feel bad about that. But anyway. There's this underlying thing with the Cleveland Browns right now. And it really has to do with Deshaun Watson, okay? And he's not played well, and we understand all of that. And now, in today's day and age of social media, and trust me, there's a lot of people out there, Jake Burns, I know there's a lot of people that do film breakdowns. And I don't pretend to act like I do that. I know the game, but I trust them, whatever. And there's these still shots. And it's easy to point, hey, this guy's open, this guy isn't. What was the read on that? I think Deshaun Watson has been handling this very, very poorly. And I think it comes back to it is striking a nerve. It's something that there is some validity to this. There is some truth to this about what are we doing here? What on this particular play, what's going on? Now, the issue is these are under a microscope because he's not playing well, because he's owed $230 million, because of the state of the Browns. Like, could you do that for Patrick Mahomes? Probably. You know what they probably do? They laugh because it's Patrick Mahomes. Not every play is going to be perfect, right? But we're in this situation with Watson where every little thing is going to be scrutinized. And I am one of those people that are going to watch every play in every game on the hope that Deshaun Watson can turn it around. So when I see these plays, and I think everybody knows the 4th down one that we're talking about, and the situation that you're in, I'm looking for the improvement. I'm looking for the, I'm a detective right now. You know, I got my Sherlock Holmes hat and little, magnifying glass. I'm looking for any little thing to try to give me the hope that Deshaun Watson can be the quarterback that we need him to be. So every play is going to get ripped apart. Every single one is going to get ripped apart. Then eventually that makes its way back to Watson. And I appreciate the media out there for asking him the questions on what's going on with these plays. Now, last week, he got a little snippy and he goes, not everybody can know what the play call was, and not everybody knows about the decoy or not. I think that bled over to Amari Cooper. Okay, fine. That was last week. We play the game Sunday. On a pivotal play to potentially win the game or not, he takes the sack. Everybody grabs the play. Actually, can you do me one better, Pat, while you got that up? I don't mean to put that on you. Everybody's seen the play, right? You don't need to pull the play up. We all know it. Yeah. Can you do this? Go to Dave's Twitter. Dave tweeted it. Big play, Dave! Love you, Dave. Probably click, just scroll down. Just scroll down. There's our big play app. There's Jensen. Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah, Rajay.
Some other various memes, accoutrement.
He's very good with that. Obviously, Reflog is probably the GOAT on that.
Dave handing out the retweets, I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, he does a great job getting our content.
What are we looking for here?
Keep going. It's like that. Can you pull that up to the screen for everybody to see?
Yes, sir.
Because that's the play we're talking about here. So we'll get that pulled up. So it made its way through to ask Deshaun Watson about this particular play. And again, I'm assuming pretty much everybody has seen it, but for those that haven't, we'll show you what it was. And it's pretty clear that there were multiple guys open and you could have made this throw. And what happened on that play? He ended up taking a sack and the game was over. So I understand that, again, not all of us have the idea of what the play call was supposed to. Even if you need to go full screen, you can go full screen. Is it easier to do full screen for you? You got it? Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you got it. Good job. Thank you, Pat. There it is. That's the play everybody's talking about. He's in the pocket. Here's a guy. Here's a guy. There's actually a guy even off the left. Like, there's all these guys lined up right here. So that's the play that we're talking about right here. Okay, now let's get to the Watson sound. So that was Sunday. And the question was asked to him yesterday, like, that particular play, what happened there? And he gave an answer that I cannot understand. Here's Deshaun Watson yesterday, asked a question about that 4th down play, audio courtesy of the Cleveland Browns.
We can all sit here and say we could have thrown it up. It could have been an incomplete, could have been an interception, or you could have caught it. Who knows what that percentage would have been or what would have happened. So at the end of the day, you give Raiders credit, and they stopped us, and that's pretty much it.
I know what happened. You took a sack. I know what happens when you take a sack, okay? You throw it up. At least you threw it. To go to the, well, they could have intercepted it. Yeah, if my aunt had a blank, she'd be my uncle, okay? I get it. That was such the wrong answer from Deshaun Watson. He's trying to defend himself. He's trying to make it out like, well, I actually made the right play. In essence, what I think Deshaun Watson was trying to do there was trying to say that taking the sack was the right play. In no world, outside of trying to run the clock out, which is ironic because he didn't do that in the other game that we still ended up winning, taking the sack is almost never the right play. So I understand what he's trying to do. It's just so blatantly wrong for him to say something like that about, well, who knows what could have happened. No, I knew what happened when he took the sack. I know what happens because you took a sack and the game was over. Then there was another clip from Deshaun Watson. The question from Tony Grossi. You guys are averaging like 3 yards on first down. You're one of the worst first down teams in the league. Deshaun, what's going on with that? Audio courtesy of the Cleveland Browns.
I don't know. I mean, that's a Kevin question. So, you got to talk with the coordinators on that part. I'm just executing whatever it's called. If people think it's easier on first down, I think every down is hard. It's the NFL, so it just depends on what the defense is doing.
Strike two. What do you only ever hear incessantly that sometimes even bothers you from Kevin Stefanski? It's always we. We need to do better. The offense in general, including the coaches, we'll hear that clip in a second. We need to do better. He never individually calls guys out. He'll say, Deshaun's got to play better. We got to play better around Deshaun. It is all about the collective. So now Deshaun Watson is almost coming out and saying, go ask those guys about it. I don't know. What are we doing here? What is going on? And I understand that this is a tough situation to be in. You are a quarterback in the NFL. You are not some second-year guy. You've had to deal with this. You know what this is. I don't usually bring up the contract. You're making $230 million. And he can't handle this? You can't deal with this? You start with the people don't know football card. You double down on that. And then when you're asked about a problem with the offense, you go talk to Kevin. I hate this. This is not good. And I'm one that I was always trying to be in the middle with Deshaun Watson. Okay? I need him to play well because he's the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. All the other stuff, all that other stuff, the baggage, whatever. I wanted him to prove to me and everybody else that he could be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Through 4 games, I've seen some improvement. I've seen some bad plays. We're moving up. But this is the stuff that just boils me, man. Take a little of this on. It's part of being an adult. Sometimes you take things on. Even when in reality, it's not all you, but for the betterment of the group, whether it's work, personal, friends, sometimes you bite the bullet and you say, you know what? I'm going to take this on. And at the very least, what is the one thing that seems to be lacking in this? Accountability. Accountability. Deshaun, you don't need any advice from me on how to play football. You don't want it from me. I get it. I wouldn't either. Can I give you a piece of advice on this? We need to be better. Don't say anything else other than we need to be better. Not I, not they, not the coaches, not the O-line. We need to be better. Answer all of these questions. We need to be better. And I know people don't like that because then you turn into a robot and it's Kevin Stefanski just saying the same thing over and over and over again. At least I wouldn't have to deal about that. At least I wouldn't have to deal with all the rest of this stuff. The new line of the week, we need to play better. That's it. They might keep, here's the thing about the media. I've been a part of it too. They're doing their jobs. They are going to keep going, man. They're going to keep asking same question in different ways. Or, when you say something, that's a part of a good media person. When you say something, they listen and they pick up on it. They'll come back and ask you another question about it. We need to play better. That's it. Say it over again. We need to play better. 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 Stop all this other stuff, man. Just stop. It's not good. And you got to figure out about how to beat a Washington team. You got plenty of other things on your mind. This stuff is just waving red flags. And I know there's plenty of red flags with them anyway. I get that. But all of this is just waving the abandoning ship and everybody's out for themselves. You got people jumping off. Like, so much of just, hey, Deshaun, what happened on that play? We need to play better. We need to execute there. We need to win that football game. Well, what throw could you have made, or what should you, excuse me, God bless. What should you have done there Hey, we didn't convert there. It starts with me. We need to be better. That's it. Keep saying that over and over again. Hey, Deshaun, you guys aren't very good on first down. What can you guys do to be better there? Again, answer, go talk to Kevin about it. Now, you know what? That's a super important one, and we need to focus on that. We're going to be better. We're going to find a way to get better at that. Is that a boring answer? Yeah, it's better than this. It's better than the finger pointing. It's better than sitting there and actually kind of revealing maybe a little bit of his truth on this. And, you know, again, in media, we ask for the truth. We want people to be truthful and all that. But that comes off to me that this isn't everybody else's problem. It's not a Deshaun Watson problem. It really bothers me. I don't know if it should. And people can tell me that I'm overreacting. I would love to hear that. Pat, I hate this. I truly hate it. And you want to know why? Because I have the history. I've seen this play before. I've seen how this goes. When that kind of stuff starts, we got real problems. Let alone actual physical on-the-field things, completing throws, stopping guys, tackling, play calling. This stuff festers. And when you start alienating yourself from the team with it's not really just me, then we got problems. And maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, and maybe this is not actually that big of a deal. But it's like, again, the question was about a problem. And he went to go ask the coordinators. That's what he said. Put that in any other context. If Aaron Rodgers said that about Nathaniel Hackett or Robert Saleh, they thinking they're about to get fired. Could you ever imagine Patrick Mahomes saying that about Andy Reid? Hey, Patrick, you guys aren't really good in this one little area. Yeah, you have to talk to Andy about that. Seriously, think about that.
Never.
And that's a gold standard. That's an elite generational franchise quarterback. That is the best head coaching quarterback combination that this league has seen since Belichick and Brady. Okay? That's the gold standard. Could you imagine that? I can't.
I could never see it. And the thing, too, is like when you talk about Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh and all of his previous coaches as well, he was playing to a level where you could kind of get through with it. Nowadays, the Jets are so bad, it's leading off Get Up. And, you know, it's leading off the local media.
Well, that's Greeny. Greeny will bring the Jets up every little day that he can. But yes, no, I get what you're saying. No, right. 100%.
So the funny thing is, like, you know, when people talk about relationships where the small things become the big things, that's where we're at with Deshaun Watson. Like making a mountain out of a molehill, like you said. Mm-hmm. That's where we're at right now. I mean, you can't get an NDA for bad quarterback play, Deshaun. Like, you can't weasel your way out of this and have someone else cover for you. You can't, whatever. We're watching it. We're seeing what you're saying. Like, you can't just go in there and try to blame other people. We're seeing it as well. Like, you don't just get away with this stuff just because you're not playing well and trying to blame somebody else.
That's the thing. And for all of the other stuff, what is... Okay, this is going to be a hard statement here, but I'm just going to say it anyway. What has been a lot of his time up until now? It's been a lot of excuses. And I'm not saying that in like a negative light towards Deshaun, but it was rust, suspension, then injury. Now... it's offensive line and receivers dropping footballs, and that is the easy path. But what I need him to do is take it on. Yes, I know I have eyes. Deshaun Watson isn't getting time in the pocket. DeJuan Jones is hurt. I don't know what the f*** is up with Jack Conklin. I don't know what is up with Jed Wills, and Mari Cooper's dropping passes. Deshaun, I know all of that. But just take your piece of the blame pie. And the problem is you get a bigger one always than everybody else. That's what quarterbacking is. And I think he knows that. I'll do you one better, Pat. I know he knows that. How could he not?
I'd be interested, too, because just my vague recollection of when he was at Clemson, when they lost games in the national championship, he took that blame too. Like when he was at the Texans.
See, but that's again. But I don't mean to cut you off. But it's like Clemson again. He was God's gift,
God incarnate,
and he was right. He was everything. Right. The chips are down now. That's the other thing. For the first time, truthfully, in Deshaun Watson's career, again outside of the suspension, that kind of stuff, The chips are down.
Right. We're
They're
seeing his
down.
character revealed. Yeah.
And it's like, you have that one. Side
What
note.
you got?
I'm not I don't post a lot on Facebook or whatever, but you got that. Is there that one person on social media, maybe went to high school with or college or something, and they're the big motivational quote guy? They're the Dan Orlovsky of that. It's just like, rise and grind.
We all know the type.
Tomorrow's a new day or whatever.
We all know the type.
And there's the one where it's like your character is revealed sometimes in the darkest times or when the chips are down. That's all. Like everybody's got that person on social media. They post a lot of lion graphics.
The lion doesn't worry about the opinions of the sheep. They're thinking they're cooking. Absolutely cooking with it, too. Man.
Because we all probably just thought of somebody, too. Do you need those? Sometimes. Sometimes you just need to laugh.
And their name is...
Yeah. Today's the day to rise and grind, It's just... Oh, man. I found that way too funny. But again, it's like, this is where it's
what
revealed.
If Kevin Stefanski comes in. Kevin Stefanski, we're not worried about the opinions of sheep.
Yeah,
What if Kevin Stefanski comes in with it?
He's got the kitten from The Office hanging.
Hang in there, buddy.
Oh, man. That's the kind of, like, again, it's right now, it's not, everything is bad. So you're going to find out about some of that stuff. And it's just like, again, go out there and play well on Sunday. I don't mean to kind of bring this kind of stuff up, but I'm concerned. Like, I don't like this. I'm telling you right now, I hate this. I don't like this. And some people will gloss over it. And some people think that it's not that big of a deal. I can't let this go. I can't, because I think there are truths getting leaked out. And the truths that I'm seeing are Deshaun doesn't think it's all his fault. And it's not just him. And I admit that. And I would tell that to Deshaun Watson, right? It's not all you. I know it's not. So what I need you to do is just take a little bit of this on. To be a part of the team. I know everything else is bad right now. Just take a little bit of it on. Let's play this Stefanski clip. So again, I'm freaking out about Deshaun Watson here. Not saying we or the could have been interception. All that. Here's Kevin Stefanski asked yesterday a question about the offense, and here's his response. Audio courtesy of the Browns.
For us right now, Tony, really our focus is just playing better. Certainly that doesn't mean players play better. That means all of us have to do a better job. So I have to do a better job. Our offense coaches have to do a better job. Our offensive players have to do a better job. But that's all of us together. So that's really where our focus is.
That's it.
Has it been discussed at all?
That's not something we're talking about.
Oh, the question on that was about play calling. Actually, I left that in there in a good way, too. That got brought up. We're going to get to that in a second, too. So the question was about the play calling, but in essence of the offensive struggles and everything that's going on. We. Together, and everything getting brought up. It's all about us getting better. It's not an individual thing, and Kevin takes that a lot. And now people get sick of that because when he said, oh, yeah, I need to fix the offensive line, and then you didn't, everybody looked. But he takes that on. Because he takes that on. Because that's his job. That's part of what he gets paid to do. And in that locker room, I keep going back to something Coach Greg has said here many times on Come Give Some. In between the lines, they know. The guys in that locker room and in between those lines, when they step on the field, they know what it really is. Is it really Deshaun Watson missing throws? Is it the offensive line playing all that bad? Is it bad play calling? They know that. Don't let that out. I don't need to know that. And you want to know what? I don't want to know that. Just get it fixed. Just get it fixed. That's all I ask. Okay? I don't know how to fix it. I'm not $1 million paid NFL coach. Not my job, okay? Get it. I don't care how. I don't care what it looks like. You need to get it fixed. And I understand that this season is pretty much teetering on going away. This season, if you lose Sunday, it's about done, right? I get that. And you got to try to keep this group together and try to fight through and soldier through all this. And at that point, we're just strictly into Deshaun Watson, improvement mode or discovery period, if you will. Probably shouldn't use that phrase. You just got to figure out about Deshaun Watson. That's all I'm trying to do the rest of the season if we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for right now, just take this on. Just take some of this on. And I hate where we're at. I really do not like where we're at right now. And there's just a lot of things circling around. There's just a lot of other things that are happening right now. So I hope they get it done. I hope Sunday's a win. And I hope we can set some of the stuff aside with Deshaun Watson. The other thing I wanted to bring up, which was in that cut there a little bit too, the play calling. Let it go. Let it go. He ain't giving it up. He's not going to give it up. And frankly, I don't want him to give it up, Pat. I think that is one of the things that he is good at. And you can look at the scripted plays, and, I heard somebody saying, why don't they just do scripted plays the whole game? Do they know how football works? I don't want to say who it was. It was somebody in the media. I don't mean to call people out on this.
I mean, that's heinous.
Well, why don't they just do scripted plays the whole game?
Why don't they just score?
Do you understand what scripted plays are meant to do? It's meant to be, they do this. Now I understand this is how they're going to defend us. Now I'm going to do something else. That's called game planning. That's called in-game adjustments, which the Browns sometimes have been lacking.
You know when someone, when they're like, oh, bless her heart or whatever? Yeah. That's my grandma. She'll always be like, oh, well, why don't they just score?
Why don't they just score? It'd be nice. Grandma, I wish they could.
I know. I really wish they could. Grandma.
I would love them to do that.
Bless her heart.
Him giving up play calling is a non-question, non-starter, non-issue for me. Let it go. And I get it. Like, the offense is struggling. That is always the low-hanging fruit. Again, I understand why the question gets asked. No. Just no. I'm just telling you no. And I've seen enough from Kevin Stefanski to feel positive about him calling plays. It's the reason you hired him. He's won 2-time Coach of the Year while doing it. And there are scripts and play calls and, frankly, play designs that are genius. Now, they don't always work. Nobody's 100%. But that's something I'm not even entertaining. And how bad of a flip is that? Bro, what were we doing last week? People were ready to throw Ken Dorsey into the lake. And now people are like, well, maybe we should give up play calling to him. What? Why? All last week was trying to circle Ken Dorsey as the problem. 5 days later, people go, actually, maybe we should give him play calling. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? People were ready to crucify him last week, and now it's like, well, maybe he should call the plays. That's that. And I'll tell you this. It comes from a position of strength for me. That has nothing to reflect on Ken Dorsey. I don't care. I want Kevin Stefanski to keep calling plays. It'd be different if your answer was there was nobody better to do it. I want Kevin Stefanski calling plays. This isn't about Ken Dorsey. I'm not ready to have Kevin Stefanski give up play calling. Again, I understand why it was asked, but for me, that is 100% a non-issue. 100%. That is not something that I'm focused on at all. To the injury report for yesterday, good they'll get David Njoku back. What is up with Jack? Listen, I know what it is, the hamstring. We are entering a world where there's a chance that Nick Chubb comes back before he does.
That's insane.
What is again, questions that I don't necessarily need the answers to, I guess. Like, that is something, Will's got re-injured. Fine. I don't want to go there. It's unsavory. I don't want to bring it up. There's this big push that he's just cashing a check. Talking about Conklin.
I don't
know. I don't buy it either. I really don't. He could get another contract after this. I think he needs to get out there and play. The frustration is boiling over on that, though, that he's been out for so long and it's been different injuries now. But yeah, that was one that I was like, again, I know Twitter, social media, people just go off on that kind of stuff, but yeah, man, there's just not a lot of good things right now. It's hard. It's really tough. And, I just need them to keep this in-house, get it figured out, and we'll see how it goes on Sunday. Now, some of the things as we get ready to go, it's going to be a tough go talking against Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. So I want to run over to CBS Sports and their 5 biggest questions entering week 5 of the NFL season. Let's see if we can answer them and help some people out. Number 1, what should the Steelers do at quarterback? I don't even think it's a question. You keep starting Justin Fields. How can you not? Now, you could say that maybe, Russell Wilson could be doing the same things a little bit better. Dude, you're 3-1. You're not necessarily losing games because of Justin Fields. He's completing 70% of his passes, 830 yards, 3 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Not a lot of touchdowns. But, hey, man, he's averaging 200 yards a game. Keep him in there. I don't think that's a question, Pat. I think you keep starting Justin Fields.
Yeah, I don't think you have a whole lot of choice, to be honest with you.
Next up.
Russell Wilson's not going to do it.
I just don't think
just
he's
not gonna do
either.
it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Where does Jaden Daniels rank amongst quarterbacks right now? Question 2 from CBS Sports. This season, an obscene 82% completion percentage, 900 yards, just 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's already tied the record for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in his first 4 career games with 4, and he's the second quarterback in the last 35 years to lead a team to a 38-point performance in back-to-back games. He's also the second player in NFL history to complete 75% of his passes and rush for 200 yards in a month. You want to guess the other guy?
Oh, man.
Second player in NFL history in a month, in a calendar month, 75% completion percentage, 200 rushing yards.
Robert Griffin III?
No, good guess, though.
Former Cleveland Brown legend?
Do you see his Baker tweet?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Oh, no, you did not see it. Oh, I'll write that down. Mark, check that. We'll get to that one in a little bit. Yep.
Mike Vick?
Nope. The only one. You're going on the right list here, though. Next up.
I don't even know who next up would be.
He's the new Mike Vick.
The new Mike Vick. I don't even know.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay. I was thinking too far down the line.
No, Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
He did that in November of 2019. What did he also do that year? Win the MVP.
MVP.
There you go. So that's something pretty good. So the question is, where do you think he ranks? And they say here on CBS Sports, talking about Jaden Daniels, it's difficult to put a young quarterback right in the top 10, but he has to be. He has to be. So let's do this. In no particular order. Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, no question there.
Clear top 3.
You got to put Sam Darnold up there. I think you got to put Jared Goff up there. You have to put Brock Purdy up there. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, maybe. Trying to go division by division here. I don't think Burrow. I mean, again, probably, but not like statistically really showing all of that. Right. So what do I got? That's 6. Jaden Daniels is right there. He's right there. He deserves to be that. He's got to be a top 10. So that's pretty crazy to think about a young quarterback like that already ascending to the top 10.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is at what point do we have to have that conversation? I know we're only 4 games in, but should he have been number 1 over Caleb?
I'm sure. Yeah, that's. I mean, it seems to be that way at this point.
One of the funny things, too, I saw on Twitter as well was Caleb Williams and the Bears, they went from, oh, we're not going to punt this year, to they posted their punter's hype video.
Yeah.
4 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
Like, comes down to earth pretty quickly, doesn't it?
No, yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. I get the hype. Did you see the Royals body bagging?
Oh, my
The
goodness.
Orioles yesterday?
Incredible stuff. Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, pull that up.
That was beautiful.
Pull that up. Actually, go to MLB's Twitter because they have the side-by-side of what the Royals or what the Orioles posted than what the Royals posted. We'll get to that. Well, I mentioned the Robert Griffin III tweet. This is what he tweeted last night. 7:51 last night. Watched the film. The Cleveland Browns wish Baker Mayfield was their quarterback right now. Now, okay, that's Johnny come lately. Okay, that it's over. He's not here. I wanted it to work with Baker. It didn't. Now, also, does RG3 have an axe to grind with the Browns? I don't think so. Like, he was already a veteran hurt guy, like, coming here. I don't think so. Now, I will tell you this. Robert Griffin III knows NFL football. He knows how to watch film. I would have liked him to have gone a little more in-depth on things, on why. It's easy to make a blanket statement. And I'm pretty going back to Pat's grandma. I'm sure your grandma could watch this and go, yeah, I probably wish Baker Mayfield was here. I would have liked a little more context from RG3 on why. But, like, okay, you watch, yeah, Deshaun Watson's not playing well and Baker Mayfield's balling out. Anybody can see that.
Grandma knows ball.
Grandma knows ball. Good.
She knows ball.
Yeah, it's my grandma's. Unfortunately, no longer with us. She was a giant baseball fan. She would love this team, man. She'd love this team. We got to get Guardians Tigers coming up in a second. But that was the RG3 tweet from last night, and I was like, yeah, okay. Like, what? Again, what purpose does that? I get it. I see what you're saying there, Robert. But okay, yeah. Anybody would probably sit there and say, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I don't know what to tell you. He ain't coming back. Baker's balling out. Just get Deshaun Watson back to where you need to go. All right, we got to pull this graphic. We're going to flip over and talk some baseball here in a second. What I want to do is preview and talk about the Guardians versus the Tigers. Obviously, we had a lot of games against them this year, and I want to see exactly what they're able to do this year against that. Let me know when you get that. That's fine. I can read it. Whatever. You got it? There you go. With Bob Witt. Bobbert. He's so good. He's so good. So here it is. There you go. So the Orioles said the seats, what does it say again?
Seats taken.
Seats taken. And they put a little bird on it. Royals, come on back. Now, the other one that I saw was they scratched out the top.
Yep.
And they go, that is such
Series
a line.
taken, yeah.
He goes, you come for the king, you best not miss. I love that statement. Like,
I love it.
Torched them.
I love it.
Torched.
That's the thing, too, is like,
woo!
Man, that's the cool thing working in social for teams and stuff.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like, that gets the team actually going, and it's so funny because it's like it's just words on a computer screen, and then it like matters, you know?
It's funny you say that because there are ones that do it really well. There's some that don't do it all that well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why it's super important. People say, like, oh, it's just social media or it's just that. Like, no, when you got a good social team like that and when you got somebody that can get it cooking like that, that's the way to roll. Speaking of cooking, guards! Sim game yesterday. Sound like it went well.
Love a good sim game.
But we got those Tigers who shockingly just sweep the Astros right on out. And now we face them starting on Saturday. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back to the regular season to dive through. And I'm not going to say that we'll do each and every game, but I wanted to see how we fared against the Tigers this season, getting ready to go for our playoff matchup. So again, of this season, 13 games that we played against the Detroit Tigers. We go back all the way to May 6th, 7th, and 8th. It was a 3-game set at home. We took 2 out of 3. 2-1, 11-7, and then we won 5-4 in extra innings. The starters in that series, Tristan McKenzie, which is a bit of a crazy one for you there. Logan Allen, who will also not probably be facing them in this series. And then Tanner Bybee, who you very much expect to be in that series. So that goes all the way back to May. And again, took 2 out of 3. Actually, I should probably write that. Just remember that, 2 out of 3. So we're 2-1 versus them. That was the only time we played them in the first half?
Yeah, man.
No, sorry. We had a 4-game set at Detroit. Remember going into the All-Star break, they took 3 out of 4 from us.
But for the first 2 months, we didn't even play them. It's crazy.
That's right. July 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. We lost 1-0 in a game that Gavin Williams got the start, 5 1/3, gave up nothing. Then we won 9-8 in extra innings. Your starter in that one was Ben Lively. Then they smoked us 10-1. And that one got out of hand because I think that was a bullpen game. Spencer Howard was the starter in that one, so you throw that one away. And then we lost 5-4. Tanner Bybee took the loss in that one. So those were your games in the regular. So again, 2-1 and then 1-3. So we are, at this point in the first half, 3-4 against the Tigers. We go to the second half. We then face them coming right out of the break again, July 22nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We split that series at home, 2-2. We lost 8-2, Carlos Carrasco. We won 5-4. Your starter in that one was Xavier Curry. So, again, we've had a lot of bullpen games against them. Then we won 2-1 on the 24th. Your starter in that one, Tanner Bybee. And then we lost 3-0. Gavin Williams took the loss in that one. Then we had a 2 short game set where we won 8-4 behind Tanner Bybee and 5-0 behind Gavin Williams. Wasn't that game when he just dominated them?
Big rig.
There on the 30th. Then you finished out. That was it. So I didn't do the math on that.
7-6.
7-6. That's how you finished it out. Here are your stats on the season for the Guardians against the Detroit Tigers. So you finished 7-6. The 2 biggest guys that you're going to look at for for the batting side of things was Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. Jose Ramirez played all 13 games against the Tigers this season. He batted .347 with 5 home runs, 5 doubles, 17 hits in 13 games with 12 RBIs. He struck out 6 times, walked 5, and had 12 RBIs.
Is that good?
I think that's pretty good.
Wow.
His OPS was a 1.1.
One dot net.
That is damn good. Now, beyond that, Josh Naylor batted .300 in 12 games with 9 RBIs and 3 home runs. A sneaky one, in 12 games, but only 26 at-bats, Tyler Freeman batted .385 against the Tigers this year. So those are your top 3. The other guys that you know are going to be important for this. Bo Naylor had 2 home runs in 10 games versus them. The one, Quan, who was up and down, he only batted .220. Andres Jimenez only batted .190 against the Tigers this year. Now you flip it over for pitching against the Tigers this year. Mention a lot of Tanner Bybee. He had 4 starts against the Tigers this year. He finished 1-1. Only one of those starts was a quality start, and he had a 4.5 ERA. Next up, you mentioned Big Rig. It was Gavin Williams. He had 3 starts against the Tigers this year. Same thing. 1-1 with 1 quality start, but he only had a 1.6 ERA in those 16 innings. Do you want to know the other beauty of that?
Need it.
They only saw Ben Lively once. They did not see Alex Cobb. They did not see Matthew Boyd. The whole reason I was bringing that up was this. We have some guys in that lineup that were solid against the Tigers this year. And everybody talks about 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗡, right? And how good he was. And I'm not saying, trust me, he was electric in that game the other night. Oh, sorry, I don't want postseason. I want regular season. Sorry. Regular season. Sorry. I had it up. You want to know what? I opened too many things and then I closed it out. Here's your thing about 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗡. He only had 1 start against us this year. He gave up 10 hits in that start. Now, he only had 1 run, but he gave up 10 hits. We saw Jack Flaherty 3 times. We saw Tyler Holton 6 times. 3 starts and 6 appearances. So it's a yin and a yang for me to say this. I think they avoided some of our best pitchers. They only saw Lively once. They didn't see Cobb, and they didn't see Matthew Boyd, who I would put down right now, better be your Game 2 starter. If he's not going to be your Game 2 starter, I think it's Gavin Williams, who had a 1.6 ERA against the Tigers. Now, you're going Bybee. And I know Stephen Vogt didn't want to give him that crown yet of starting Game 1. He's going to be your Game 1 starter. So when I flip about it and I look at the pitching matchups, I'm gonna talk myself into it to say I see a little edge just on matchups where they didn't see some guys they're going to see. Now, we only saw Skubal the one time, right? Which is hard, but you've seen him prior to that. You know you're going to get Flaherty. Flaherty had a 1.5 ERA in 3 starts against us. So maybe a little bit of a matchup to the side of the Tigers when it comes to the pitching. Now, let's take a look at their hitting against us. Should we tell ESPN? They still have Cleveland Indians.
Oh, geez.
On the splits. So here we are. In 13 games against us this year, I'll tell you this. Of their positional players, bro, they didn't have a guy bat .300 against us.
Wow. Andy
Ibanez, okay, he batted .333, but like Perez, .245. Matt Verling, .250. Is Javi Baez even still playing for them? I don't even think so, right?
Here and there.
Yeah, McKinstry.
He hit a tank on us.
200. Dude, Riley Green batted 195 against the Guardians this season. That is the one thing that I'm circling because the Tigers' resurgence to get where they're at has been really impressive, right? But there was a stat, I think the lineup for Game 1, there were 5 guys in that lineup that at some point this season they sent down to AAA. Spencer Torkelson's probably the big one. Justin Henry Malloy is getting a lot of at-bats for them. None of these guys, really played all that well against us during the regular season. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that the regular season, hey, we did this, again, just automatically put in the postseason. But, Pat, as I was going through all this, I kind of realized I feel really good. And again, it's like I'm not overly confident. I'm not cocky. I'm not trying to wish this away. The Tigers are hot. The Tigers are hot. I think we're better. I know we're better. I know it. I look at what we did against them in the regular season. You want to go tit for tat, and you want to say this guy versus that guy and this guy versus that guy. Sure, 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘 might be the big eraser in that. Fine, I get it. Enter everybody else. And that's where I think the Guardians have such an advantage for this series. Also, the fact that it's going to be at home. The fact that we were one of the best home teams in baseball this year. And I just look at it and I say, their lineup versus our pitching. 𝗟𝗓𝗩𝗘 Carpenter is a big part for them, which I know he just slams. Was a right-handed pitching, right?
Yep.
He only had 2 games against us. That's it. So you have guys that have not seen some of our pitchers, or at least have a good book on them. I can't say that about the Guardians. They saw these guys. We played well against them. And you know what you're going to get. Am I wishing and trying to put a little Maloik on 𝗟𝗩𝗘 to not do what he did? I was texting with somebody yesterday. I don't mind saying it. It was Mike Rizzo. Shout out to Mike. I love Mike. And he's working down in West Palm Beach now. And Mike texted me, and he goes, we were talking about something else, but then we started talking about the Guards. And we got into it, and I was like, dude, he was with me. He's like, dude, I feel really good about this. And I said, I do too. And I said, there's no way 𝗟𝗩𝗘𝗟𝗩 can do that again. Right? No. Because here's another thing I'm going to say about the Tigers here. And this, I'm not trying to be graphic, but I think they gave you all they got. They blew you got what I'm saying. I think that series to them was everything. They were all amped up, and they were on the road, and they're going to try to recreate that magic. That's harder to do than you think. Where I like where the Guardians are at, that quiet confidence, the quiet swag. The only thing I would have liked is if they had gone 3. That's why I really, 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 really wanted the Astros to win yesterday. Because I wanted it to go 3, waste a couple extra guys. They got their celebration in. They can relax today. They get a workout in tomorrow, and we're off to the races come Saturday. Plus the off day, too, which is kind of an equalizer in this whole thing. But I'm just going to talk myself into this because it's not even me talking myself into it, Pat. I really think even if you try to look at this objectively, I think there's a lot of things that point towards the Guardians in this. And now you talk about what would you do with the rotation? You know Tanner Bybee is going to get that first start. Now, I talked about Matthew Boyd. What's your curveball? Sorry. I'm really sorry. What's your curveball, Matthew Boyd?
I don't know, man, because he came from Detroit.
Exactly.
I don't know how many guys are still there from the...
they still got the books.
They still got the books for sure. But, I don't know how much that really even plays into it because...
No, you're right. I get what you're saying, yeah.
He's had to readapt himself after Tommy John surgery, coming back and everything like that. But the thing is so many of these guys have books against each other. Like 𝗟𝗩𝗘 Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green. They played against Tanner Bybee, Bo Naylor, all of them through AA. They were in the AA championship when I was working for the Rubber Ducks down there. And so they know each other well. And I think this would add just a little bit more because we beat them when they were in the minors. We beat them in AAA. And we got a chance to beat them now in the majors. I think the Guards have it here.
I would love this to become a budding rivalry. And I'm sure that baseball
the 08
loves
rivalry.
This. Us, the Tigers, and the Royals scrapping it on out. Hell yeah, man. Let's go.
And that's the other thing, too, is that you were talking about home field advantage. We're going to travel up to Detroit. Our fans will travel
up there. They'll get up there for sure.
It reminds me of those 08 series when Delman Young and all those. Maglio Ordonez.
That's a good pull. Those are some names of the past.
Those races were highly underrated. The 07-08 teams were really good. Yeah. This has a chance to be right on that level.
No, absolutely. And that's the fun thing about it is you're going to see these guys a lot. Now, that goes, again, both sides of the coin. They've seen you. We've seen them. But I just think that's a little edge to the Guardians because they're going to get some guys they hadn't seen, or at least Gavin Williams, who, again, got the 3 starts. Bro, he had 12 strikeouts per 9 innings against the Tigers this year. 12 per 9. He's one of my guys, man. I'm a Gavin Williams apologist to the nth degree. Him, Joey Cantillo. And Doug Nikhazy is my new minor league guy. I was trying to pick a guy in the minor
Dougie.
league. I love Doug Nikhazy is my new minor league guy. I was trying to pick a guy in the minor league. I love Doug Nikhazy.
We love Dougie, man.
Eventually, it'll be Matt Williamson, but he's a little further down the road there. But Doug Nikhazy, something about the lefties, man.
Yeah,
I just love the lefties. You need a lefty in your line.
Doesn't Gavin Williams just remind you of Matt Harvey being like a big game type of pitcher, just his body type and everything
Sideburns.
like that? Sideburns too.
And the good sideburns.
I didn't think about
he
the sideburns,
yeah.
honestly.
I don't know why Gavin Williams, he always makes me think of Potsy too, because like Anson Williams played Potsy on Happy Days. I don't know why I think that, but I do. But anyway, Gavin Williams, that's it. Dude, if he can go out there, and that's why I like him for game 2, to be honest with you. You throw him out there, and then you send Matthew Boyd to Comerica, where he knows how to pitch. He's been there before. I think that's your lineup. Sorry to Ben Lively. Yeah, and then there's Alex. Can I tell you something real quick? Alex Cobb ain't pitching. He ain't starting. No. I cannot do that. A guy that's been out, that he's got the finger problems. I know he's a veteran. You save him for this. Monday, which I will be at. We're working through those logistics.
Babysitter
4
incoming.
o'clock. So, like, we're on this battle if we take our son. Because he's not 3 yet. So he can just sit on my lap.
Yeah.
So we have 4 tickets. My 2 brothers, my wife, and I. Do we take him? It's 4 o'clock.
So.
We'd get him out of school.
Right.
And I told my wife, I go, if he goes about a little late, that like this, and if we have to leave the game early,
A little late being what, like 8:30?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're because again,
You're
it's
fun
like
parents.
But then the other thing too is if we don't take him, then we can wrap it down or Uber down because parking is going to be out the
it's a
butt.
nightmare.
And we don't mind because here's the other yin and yang. I don't mind parking away to save myself $20, but then you got to walk with him and you got to carry him, and he's not a light kid.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll figure it out.
Can't really park here and walk up 9th Street.
No, I thought about that. I go, at the worst, I know I have a parking spot and get on one of those scooters. That child endangerment.
Scooters, dude.
Hold on, son.
Hey,
Riero.
Yeah. Get in the basket.
Get in the basket. Hold on, Riero. Done. We have a report of a father who crashed his scooter on East 9th. Story at 9. Dude, can I tell you a quick kid story? Today's picture day at school.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. We got his hair done. He got a nice little polo. You know what? My wife picked him up yesterday. She texted me. He took a header off the jungle gym. Giant
Off the
scratch,
jungle gym?
just right down his face. And I go, you ate it pretty good, buddy. And he goes, yeah. And that's like, I'm raising my son to try to like brush it off, man. Get some dirt on it, like move forward. It's all good. I'm like, why the day before picture day? I go, is there?
I'll tell you what,
that is just kid karma. That the day before picture day, it's just straight down.
But
his
the best
face.
part is like looking back on these photos in years. I remember we were looking through.
You're gonna have that one.
Yeah,
forever.
because I have one when I was I don't know, 2nd grade, 1st grade, something like that. Just whoop, chop the bangs.
Welcome
whoop,
to
whoop.
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, you cut your hair.
Cut my own hair. Whoop, whoop.
Cut your hair.
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah. Mike tweets, do you think Boyd's going to be hyped to face his old team? That's all I was talking about Alex Cobb. So you send Boyd up there. Here's what you do for Monday. You start Gavin Williams. He gives up 2 runs. Go to Alex Cobb. It's going to be a quick hook here. But there are games from Gavin Williams that I just go, man, buddy. Electric. He's got that fastball that cuts back in. There are times that I just see him rear back, and it ain't 99, but in 95. And that upper zone is pure. These guys are flailing at it. He's one, man. I'm circling my boy Gavin Williams. Now, again, Bybee on Saturday, your quick thing on that is you can go to your guys. You want your bullpen stats against the Tigers this year? Here we go. Pedro Avila, 5 games, 10 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, so not great there. Hunter Gaddis, 6 games, 6 2/3 innings, 2 holds, 2 earned runs to a 2.7 ERA. Nick Sandlin, 6 innings, 2 holds, 3 earned runs. Emmanuel Clase, 6 games, 4 saves, 6 innings. I mentioned that 2 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts to a 0.0 ERA. Mr. Blutarski. Tim Herron, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run to a sub-2 ERA. Cade Smith, 4 games against the Tigers, 4 2/3, just 3 hits, 1 earned run. That's it. So that's where Saturday, start Bybee, and know that you can go to those guys pretty early. With the off day, I think that helps you out. Get a lot there on Gavin Williams. I think it's lining up, man. I love where we're at for the guards. It's exciting. It's awesome, and it's amazing. And we got playoff baseball in town.
Best time of the year.
Dude, it's so much fun. I love it. And it's, again, basketball is great. Football's awesome. There's something electric about baseball. Because you want to know the thing about baseball? It's a little like hockey. Any play. First quarter of a Cavs game, it's important. You're like, yeah. Bro, somebody goes yard in the second inning to give you a lead. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's do this. Catch our break. We come back. More Browns to dive into. We got baseball. We'll get to the grid. Got our Thursday night wagers. We got baseball tonight. Plenty coming up. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Download the app. The brand new Big Play app. You can see all of our content. Boom. Right there. All the shows. All the interviews are right there. Big Play Tailgate. Bobby Carpenter. Greg and Blake Williams. Enter the Jungle. Josh Maria Cribbs. The Return. All the interviews, including the one with Rajay Davis this week. That's some good karma getting up for this weekend. So check us in the Big Play app. The other thing, just go to bigplay.com and you'll see all of our merch, which is there, all of our amazing stuff, and you can check out our Big Play horse. I was talking to Ken about this the other day. With my racehorse, we have a lot, Improbable Luck. He's got a name now. We're getting updates, man.
Oh, yeah. Got the whole update yesterday.
That horse is fast. Now, he's sold out. We're going to get another one day. He's sold out.
He sold out, man.
The early results are, this horse is good, man.
Yeah.
This horse,
training at Churchill Downs.
Dwayne Lucas got him down there.
Yep.
He's out for his practice
That's
runs.
a big deal.
He's looking good.
Looking
You know
good.
what they told me? He's got a big hind end.
Okay.
That's good.
We
Good
love
in the
that.
horse race. Good
Love a
for
good
D
big hind
linemen
end,
and horse racing. Big hind ends. That's
right.
what we want to see.
John Madden, that's a lot
Go
of pants.
check. Yeah, hell yeah. Bigplay.com/horse. And you'll see all the update. Now, the cool thing is when you register with my racehorse, I get those emails. I get the updates on Improbable Luck. So things are going. Did you see the merch drop that we had for Improbable Luck?
Great.
I need an Improbable Luck shirt. You pull that up real quick?
Let me see if I can get that.
Yeah, pull that up. I won't be able to see it. They got mugs. They got shirts. He's a good-looking boy, too.
Good-looking boy.
He's a good-looking boy.
Love that hind end, don't we?
Yeah, good hind end. There he is. There he is. There's the Improbable Luck swag.
Yeah, look at this.
I need that
Look at
shirt.
this. Look at this.
I need that shirt. Come on now.
That's some good stuff.
It's some great stuff. So check it out. Bigplay.com/horse.
bigplay.com.
All that you need. All right, let's catch our break. We come back. Plenty coming to you. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink garage beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Even though our strength of schedule was #1 in the NFL, I think we have the dogs up front. We have the dogs in the back as it relates to our defense. Our defense alone keeps us in these games. Not even talking about offense. Let's just say Deshaun Watson isn't there. We got dogs on the defensive side that's mirroring the potential of the Ravens from 2001 or 2000 Ravens with Jamal Lewis and the boys and Ray Lewis and those guys.
Right.
They won. Again, no disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but they won without a high-powered offense.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
All right, welcome back. Fontana show right here on Big Play. Let's get to it. Morning update. We'll get to the grid. We'll get to our wagers tonight for Thursday night football. Stay away from me from baseball. You don't need me for baseball tonight. You're going to find something else for me there. But we'll get to Thursday night plays coming up. But before all that, Pat's got stories you got to know here on your Thursday. Take it away, Pat.
Yeah, so for our weekend update, we got some interesting ones. We a lot of people with the Royals and the Tigers clinching in the wild card series. A lot of people have brought back up the do you celebrate too much? The champagne bets when you move on. I personally, for one, it's a 162 game season. I don't mind the celebration, but where do you fall on that? That's been a really hot topic on social media. It is every single year because people want to hate on baseball.
No, it's like, again, it's different because their season is so long, but hockey does that. Basketball doesn't, which is a little interesting.
Yeah. Too cool for school.
I guess, and it's like, okay, do you want to know the weird thing I thought about that? Baseball is kind of that one sport, though, like, okay, I'm just going to say it. You can kind of play hungover. It's like, you hear these stories. Like David Wells said he threw his perfect game while he was nursing a hangover, like all that other kind of stuff. So it's these other guys might be like, oh, I can't, my body is a temple and I can't touch it, because I'm a basketball player and all that kind of. Baseball players can be boozing. Baseball is the one that there used to be alcohol in the clubhouses. There used to be.
Yeah.
After the game, it wasn't about they were getting smashed. It was the game was over and they cracked a beer.
Yep.
It is what it is. So I think baseball is a little different from that standpoint. Keep it going, man. I think it's funny when they have guys like Jackson Merrill and stuff, and they go, they're not even 21 yet, so they got to be like off
Jackson
to the
Holiday,
side. Maybe it's Jackson Holiday is what I was thinking of, but
they've had two of those guys like that this year where they have like fake bird juice. For the Orioles
they put juice in the champagne or something like that. So I think it's fun. It doesn't bother me, and especially as long as my team is getting it done, that's all that really matters.
Yeah,
so that's
please,
it,
man. Fingers crossed. Yeah. So ESPN.
Again, Pat, I gotta plug my. I had an interview yesterday. I thought I plugged it in a lot. I thought it like. Are you one of those people that for your phone? Do you let your phone die?
Oh, yeah.
I do all the time.
My girlfriend hates it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been better with it lately. I got a new phone, but at certain points, I would be on.
I know there are people that I know they don't let it get past 50%.
Oh,
and they plug their phone in. They're like obsessed with plugging their phone in.
Better than I. But I'll tell you what, who another person's like that is Big Play Dave, because we were in the group chat and he had to send some screenshot or whatever.
Oh, I've seen Dave's screenshots before, and his is at like
it's always
2%,
1%.
Yeah,
Like,
he and
I know he likes to live
cut
dangerously.
From the same cloth on that. All right, we're back.
I like that he likes to live dangerously.
Who doesn't? Right?
Speaking of living dangerously, not so dangerous anymore is the NFL kickoffs. They've changed those rules. In the past, we're now 4 weeks in, and Kevin Seifert from ESPN wrote an article about the new kickoff rules and what have we learned for 4 weeks. Basically,
that they're trash, that they're ass. Yes.
There's no returns, and the returns aren't long. We haven't had a return for a touchdown nearly to the level that we have previously. So I'm be interested to see through 4 weeks, do we hate it more? Because I personally do.
I do. I think it's even worse in practicality. It's not. Here's the thing. Players hate it. The coaches hate it. It's a bad viewing product, and you are not getting the electric returns. The play of the game doesn't like it. Who does? Who does? Now, I appreciate and will thank the NFL for trying to find a way to not just eliminate kickoffs, because eventually they could just say everybody gets the ball at 25-yard line and that's it. This dynamic kickoff is stupid. It was always stupid, and it's going to be. Now, I'm going to ask them to fix it and try to, I don't want them to eliminate kickoffs. Why can we not just go back to the way that it was? Well, they don't want guys running headfirst in each other and having concussions and all that other kind of stuff. They're going to change it. They've already started to grease the wheels that it's going to get changed. It's not going to get changed in the season. That is an off-season competition committee type thing. But mark my words, it'll be different next year. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's going to be different. It sucks, and they need to do something about it.
Yeah, honestly, it makes me think, too, like, if they do take away the kickoffs, Josh Cribbs to the Hall of Fame immediately because that was
nobody
of the game. You know?
Right. But the thing is, then the problem is he'll get lost to history because then nobody will care.
Is I think people will make the push that if the kickoff is going away, they're gonna be like, we need to immortalize one of the greatest kick returners of all time, him, Devin Hester, all those guys.
Again, I want Josh to make it, but then they would come back and say this isn't even important to our game anymore.
Man, I hope
we don't not. Josh needs to be in there. We all know that. Yeah. But it's going to be an uphill battle, with again how they handle special teams and all these different kind of things. Right. We'll see.
Maybe we get more Guardian caps. I would love to see that. But
those Guardians or the other Guardians?
Yeah, those Guardians. I can put a little Guardian scene on there.
That's a good point too. It's not easy to stop. You can't stop concussions. There's no way in any dude. There's concussions in soccer from just hitting the ball. Like there's concussions in every sport, right? There's nothing you can do to avoid. Football just has more because it is grown men, some of the biggest, fast athletes in the world, hurling their body at somebody else. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, if the Guardian caps are the future, I don't know. I really that's a tough thing for the NFL. But them trying to change the game this way isn't good. And almost at this point, I would rather just have it just start at the 20, 25, whatever you want to do. Just start it at the 25. I know it's so boring and so bad. Hopefully they figure something out. I don't know what it is.
Matt, I forgot the music.
That's fine. I don't want to put that on you. I like the music behind us a little bit.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
Now
the problem is you got to keep hitting it.
I know, right? But maybe I can find
Ryan, send it to me. Can you send it to me after the show? I can loop it in 2 seconds for you and send it back to you. So we'll get to that coming up in a little bit. So I got Devontae Adams news too. We'll
okay. So this one wasn't even one that I really thought of until we were talking about the Guardian caps. But did you see the Staus, I think it was, MLB logo on the helmet?
I did. Yes, I did see that.
I didn't mind it as much as I thought I was gonna because now MLB has it's all marketing and I think it's fine. But it is kind of ugly to see one sponsor on all of the helmets. I loved what the Cavs did previously with the Goodyear in the corner. That looked unbelievable. With Larry Nance Jr. talking about how it meant so much to the Cavs. Ugly on the MLB helmets with all of the teams having.
Well, you don't want to get to like the Korean League where they have it like everywhere and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, they want to allow these teams to make money, and it's like if they can get $10 million, I don't know what you would charge for that, but if it's money to cover whatever. Fine. It's just, when it's gaudy, when it's like too much to stare at. Yeah. And I see the Marathon logo. We all see it, but it's like you kind of train your brain to not see it.
Right.
The sleeve is fine. I don't want anything on the helmets.
Not me either.
Because then again, what do you do? You put them on the ball caps?
Right.
Too? Like in the field? Too much.
Yeah,
that's
soccer
a lie.
Jerseys too.
That is right.
Yeah,
soccer.
Right across the front. No. Yeah. But it's funny, too, because when you look at the MLB umpires, previously they had FTX, the Federal Trade whatever.
Yeah.
And then they got indicted for hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud and all that stuff. So now you got to take that off. You got to be careful with who you have.
Crypto. Remember when Crypto.com?
Yeah. Steph Curry and Larry David doing a commercial together. LeBron.
Well, no, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I should take that back. It wasn't Crypto because Crypto.com is still the Lakers. What was the Miami?
Oh, man. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Miami.
The Miami Heat.
Heat. I almost wanted to say stadium. Arena.
Because it used to be...
it's the Casaya Center.
Yeah.
We all know it as American Airlines Center. But before that, it was FTX Arena. That's right. It's the same thing. Right. And that comes out in the middle of the season. Like, well, never mind. So, sorry about that. Sorry about it. That's done. Yeah. But yeah,
you got to be careful with who you have as a sponsor as well.
Yeah, they need the money up front, or at least the down payment, all that other kind of stuff. Hopefully, Huntington Bank is all up.
Right.
Hey, I don't know if you see the Guardians news?
I did not.
They were about TV. They were dropped by Diamond. So again, the Diamond Sports Group, as this has all been going on. Yesterday, it was official. They dropped everybody except the Atlanta Braves. Now, here's the interesting part:
a former Turner Broadcasting partner too, which is interesting.
Correct. Ted Turner starting it. Right? That team, owning that team. Here's where we're at with the Guardians from a TV standpoint. They are now TV free agents. What is going to happen? Number one, they could go back to Diamond. Now, the problem is they need to renegotiate terms. They're in bankruptcy. I don't think that's happening. Option number two seems to be Amazon. If Amazon's up and all this other kind of stuff, then maybe they do that, and you have to pay for a thing every month for Prime. What's that? Here's what I hope my third option is here. Dan Gilbert, who now has launched his own TV station, which sounds like he's going to be picking up the Cavs, he picks up the Blue Jackets and the Guardians too. Go back to basically what was Sports Time Ohio. Remember Fox Sports Net?
Oh, yeah.
way back in the day. Launch that. Maybe we'll
Bruce
get
Drennan,
involved.
featured heavily.
Maybe we'll get involved with that. A big
You got
play.
something in your eye there?
Yeah.
You got something in your eye?
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Show might come to you live.
Yeah,
One
maybe,
day.
right?
Wouldn't that be something?
But it's interesting, too, because we see a lot of teams like this. The Suns did this as well with direct-to-consumer. I think it was like $99 or something cheap like
DTC,
that.
man.
Yeah, direct-to-consumer is where it's going nowadays.
You just got to sell. You know, you just got to
It
make
has to be
yourself,
sold.
or even, again, a subscription model. Pat, how much would you pay per month to watch your
man.
sports? Now, again, I'm going to give it to you this. You're not a big hockey fan, but you're a Cavs fan
I'll
or
watch
Guardians
hockey,
fan.
though.
Sure. If it was the same thing as Bally's, you get the Guardians, you get the Cavs, you get the Blue Jackets, or the Crew, or whatever else that you'd be interested in. What would you be willing to pay for a month?
If I needed to, I'd probably pay $50 a month. If I needed to get all
that, yeah.
all of that.
I'd say about 30 for me, 20 to 30, something like that. And again,
If
you're
it's all
still
in one
selling
place,
any
too.
exactly. That's my thing. I need it all in one place. I'm gonna have to buy Bally's coming up here.
Yeah.
That's $20 a month. I don't really want to be spending another $20 on top of that.
Right.
But if you can get it all in one place for me, plus you're still selling ads. It's not like I get that and it just goes to commercial break. Like, sell your ads there. That's fine. I don't care.
Yep.
That's where I think the future is going to be. And hopefully, I think the real out in that is that Dan Gilbert does have all that money and the Guardians are available. Why would you not grab that? I think that's a smart thing to do. I really do. I'm excited to see it.
Hopefully, there's a good relationship between Guardians ownership and Dan Gilbert.
They
So
do.
I think there will
They
be.
do. I
'cause they're
think there's a
neighbors,
working
obviously, but
relationship there.
I think there
Yeah.
is, but that'd
Yeah.
be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Staying on the baseball train, for the first time in 8 years, the Houston Astros are not
Yes.
in the playoffs. They will not
Suck
make the
it.
ALCS.
F
and,
the Astros, man.
See you later. My girlfriend and I were waving bye to the Astros, and then we get a little wave down below for Jose Altuve. All the way down there, but for the first
Go
time
to
in
hell.
8 years, yeah, go to hell, for real. Yeah, with the buzzer he was trying to cover up, whatever it was. But for the first time in 8 years, the Astros are not going to be in the ALCS. Dynasty, question mark?
Tainted, yeah.
Tainted for
they are
sure.
a dynasty, a
But
tainted one, yes.
I think you have to consider it. I mean,
No, but how
it's
many
like the
World
LeBron
what do they
run.
got? 2 World Series championships in that
Two
time?
World
2
Series,
World
yeah.
Series championships. So, yes, I mean, yeah, just on that alone, there is the dynasty. You know, the interesting thing, too, was as we were getting ready to go and we did our predictions the other day, everybody had the Astros beating us. Everybody did. I'm talking about the Guardians. That had them advancing out of the first round and then advancing again. Take that.
Sayonara.
And, there are people that are saying, oh, we really avoided the Astros, or you don't want to, the Tigers are hot too. You got to, listen, you're going to have to face tough teams. You're going to have to go through 3 tough teams to win a World Series. That's how it's going to have to go. I just think they were not hitting. They were not, and again, Scooble, that bet I told you, I got to get it on a loop. I'll get it on a loop for you.
There it goes.
But it's like they just, I don't know, for some reason their bats didn't show up. At least from me watching, I don't know. Like, the pitching was phenomenal, sure, but I thought I'd get a little bit more. And again, Bregman had multiple hits. Altuve maybe, was the one he didn't get to yesterday. But, yeah, man, no love lost here. Astros kick rocks.
Yeah,
Enjoy
go
your
kick
offseason.
rocks. Altuve said
And now
it's time-
Bregman's probably going to leave maybe,
Yeah,
or they
so-
want him back and they afford him. Who knows?
Jose Altuve came out yesterday and said it's time to pay him back for all of his basically his back wages, which I don't care. You cheated your way to a 2017 championship. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't
Last
care.
one I got for you, Matt, is the Bills play the Texans this week. So we talked about it in the Around the League segment we did yesterday, but another revenge game. So Josh Allen versus Stephon Diggs. There's no real hatred from Josh to Stephon Diggs.
Sure.
But Diggs has a lot of hurt feelings coming back from the Bills. You think he gets in the end zone this week?
I would imagine
look at his odds.
so, but look at Nico Collins. He's on pace for 2,000
Unbelievable.
yards. He is clearly the number one guy there. That's a galvanizing thing, and I think D'Amico Ryans understands that too. To be like, let's get him in the end zone. That's something that we can talk about. Give him a game ball after. That's the new thing in the NFL, right? Cliff Kingsbury gets a revenge game football and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, I actually like that very much in this situation. All right, final football thing. Devontae Adams is open to playing for several teams. Per Ian Rappaport. You ready for the teams? The Saints, the Steelers. Oh, no, wait. These are the teams that have either inquired or that he would be happy about playing for. The Saints, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Bills, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. Jets not on that list. Is it because he's a foregone conclusion he's going there?
Robert Saleh, maybe? I don't even know.
That's a good point. Again, for me and Rappaport, let me pull up actually rap sheets because that was just from Bleacher Report. Okay, so Ian Rappaport this morning said Devontae Adams wants to play for the Jets. But the All-Pro is open to landing on other teams. He's not demanded to be traded somewhere specifically, and Las Vegas will take the best deal. Mike Garafolo. While the Raiders could trade Davante Adams to the Jets, they'll do what's best for their organization, including taking the best deal from the highest bidder. The Raiders are honoring the trade request, but not completely letting him go. That's the right thing. Like, hey, man, we'll get you out of here. But if you want to go to the Jets, they better come to the table here. They better come to the table with something here. So that's interesting to keep him away from the Steelers. But definitely keep him away.
Please keep him away. Could you imagine that? They have such a low output of passing, though. I mean, Lamar Jackson threw it, like 20 times, something like that?
Yeah, they're going to run. They're absolutely going to run.
But,
yeah,
I mean, the talent that they would have, if you can keep it a slow-paced offense, Davante Adams, he's still a tactician with running routes.
Oh, he's still very good. Yeah. He's still very
very good. It doesn't matter what – he's just, just wasting away a little bit in Las Vegas. Jimmy Garoppolo overthrowing him by 30 yards.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew can't get him the football. So, please keep him out of our division.
Yeah, that's, again, specifically to the Ravens is not what I want to see. So, the other thing, too, is he's got to play this weekend, right? He's going to have to play. Like, how awkward is that? Well, no, here's the thing. You don't want him to play. He tears his ACL.
Correct.
You're in a load of trouble.
Yep.
He didn't play last week with an injury. I wonder if that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I don't think he's going to play this week. I think they're going to hold him out.
See, but again, then now that's a little onus on the Jets. Get him in here because you're going to take a week to get him up to speed. If you at least get him in here now, I would be calling for that. Yeah. I would be calling for this. Oh, you want a crazy stat from the Tigers about this?
Need it.
The Tigers' 26-man roster for the wild card series has a combined salary of $18.8 million. There are 62 players in Major League Baseball that individually make more money than the Tigers have on their payroll facing the Guardians. Wow. Love it. I mean, we're the same boat. Ours is more than 18, but
of course.
Bring it on. And that's something else that, talking Guardians here for a second, man. Who do they have over there that's been through this before? Right?
Right.
At least you start with Jose. You have Jimenez, who's been there before. Not necessarily with us, but even a couple years ago when Oscar Gonzalez was going yard, right? Yeah. You had Josh Naylor there. You had a little taste for Emmanuel Clase. You have Alex Cobb, Matthew Boyd. These guys have been there before. Certainly Alex Cobb. Yeah. That guy's pitched in a World Series before.
Yeah, people forget he pitched against us in the 2013 or 14.
The Rays. Yeah. That's right.
Danny
with the
Salazar.
Rays. Yeah.
You want a name from the past, dude? Danny Salazar.
Exploratory surgery, man. When you're getting that, never a good idea. Well, we explore a little bit for the Immaculate Grid. Let's go, pal. Let's get it done.
Let's
get practice.
Yeah, here we go.
You know how it goes. Up and down, left and right. 9 minutes. We got 5,000 career rushing yards. Go. All right, Adrian Peterson.
AP.
Now,
okay.
Marshawn Lynch played for the Raiders.
Right.
So can we think of another Raider Seahawk? Or do you have another 5,000 career? Oh, Sean Alexander. Yeah.
Sean, yeah.
All right. Cool. Now you can just go ahead and put Lynch over there if you'd like. Or do you want to hold off?
On which one? Right here?
No, Seahawks, Raiders. You just want to put Marshawn Lynch in there? Yeah, just throw it in there. We can't think of another one. Now, I got a freaky one there that I think might actually work for another one. We'll get to that in a second. All right, 5,000 career rushing yards for the Texans. Got to be Arian Foster.
Yes. For sure.
Now, again, did he not go to Vegas?
I don't think so.
Okay, he went somewhere, but it wasn't there. So Arian Foster is good. All right, freaky off the wall one. Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
Does he not work there? Did he play in Seattle? I thought Raiders Seattle for a second. I know he works Raiders, and did he not play in Cincinnati, or am I misremembering all that?
Honestly, that I don't know.
Okay, that might be too off. I know he played in Washington. I know he played for the Raiders.
Yeah,
but I can't remember. I might be getting him and Josh Gordon confused. Maybe, but all right, we open it up.
My first thought for Vikings Raiders was actually
Nick
Dante
Mullins?
Culpepper, but Nick Mullins too.
Does Nick Mullins work there?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. Dante Culpepper works, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Rip Dante there.
I think so.
No, I believe I picture him in both uniforms. Obviously, I picture him in Minnesota, but you're good. You're
A little nervous there.
No, welcome to the grid, buddy.
Welcome to the grid,
grid,
buddy boy.
man. Every time, even when let's say you know it, and then you start to play games in your own head where you're sitting like, no, and you're just like, and then the people and that. Honestly, the reason we do it is just for the YouTube people.
Oh, for
this
sure.
thing rip us, but you idiot! It's meant to be a mental exercise for everybody to get you a little, juices flowing as the day goes on, as the morning goes on. With that, all right. You want to fix out Raiders Texans?
Raiders Texans. Okay. Let's see.
Foster Moreau, I don't think so. Did Matt Schaub ever play for the Texans? I don't think so.
What a name.
That's a pull.
It's a pull.
Receivers.
I'm trying to think of receivers, yeah.
Robert Woods. Don't think so.
No.
Obviously, Andre Johnson, no.
No.
Owen Daniels, remember him, the
Daniels.
tight end? I don't think he played in Oakland, though.
CJ Yates, that guy?
Oh,
Backup quarterback?
Deep cut.
Davis Mills, somebody like that?
I don't think Davis Mills played there.
Yeah. It's too
In Oakland, I mean.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, we'll come back to that. Let's
Yeah,
rip
yeah.
through some Bengals here.
Okay.
Bengals, Seahawks. I feel like something should be screaming to us there.
Yeah.
It's not Chad Ochocinco. Oh,
TJ
TJ Hushmanzada, 100%. That's it.
Oh,
Yep,
God,
that
how
you and
am I
I at the same
spell
time.
it?
TJ Hushmanzada is 100%. Hushmanzada. Correct. All right, Bengals
48%.
Viking. I know. That's probably a
big
pretty
number
good pull
right there.
right there with TJ Hushmanzada.
Yeah.
I love it. Vikings Bengals.
Bengals. I'm thinking like running back.
Corey Dillon, I don't think went there. Rudy Johnson, no.
Forgot about that name. Golly.
Joe Mixon obviously is down in Houston now.
Yeah. Joe Mixon right here.
Oh,
Love
there
it.
you go.
Love
Perfect.
it.
Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
You're right. Joe Mixon, done and done.
Done and done.
Done and done. All right, Bengals,
Nice.
Vikings. AJ McCarron, no.
He would have worked for the Raiders. Well, yeah.
Sam Darnold, no. Oh yeah, AJ McCarron would have worked there too. You're right. 100%. Carson Palmer, no. Tyler Eifert, no.
Oh, yeah. That's tight ends. I think Tyler Croft, no.
No. Ryan loves Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst.
And he played in Cincy, but I don't
Briefly.
think I don't think he's never played for Minnesota.
Yeah, he was Atlanta, I think.
Yeah. Carolina too.
Yeah.
Let's
see.
I don't know why a DB is coming to mind. But just because they've had so many DBs go through, like Eli Apple, I don't think so. Von Bell, I don't think so.
Pac-Man Jones.
Pac-Man
Yeah.
doesn't work. He actually would have worked for Seattle, though, wouldn't
Yeah.
he?
That's funny.
A lot of those, yeah. All right, let's go with our Ryan Fitzpatrick. No, right?
Right.
No. Does he work for the other one? No, he never played. No,
What
he
about
never played for the
McCown?
Raiders.
I don't think he ever played there.
I don't think he ever played there. I know he
Yeah.
played in. I think he played in Minnesota. I think he did, but I don't remember him in Cincinnati. And then again, there's got to be like legacy guy. I don't think Boomer Esiason
Right.
or anything like that.
Yeah, I thought Case Keenum, but that doesn't work either.
Case would have been a good one, yeah. But yeah, he never played in Cincinnati, did he? Never played in Cincinnati, did he? Kickers?
Yeah, kickers.
Fat Randy?
Fat Randy?
That's what we call
Randy
Randy
Bullock?
Bullock.
Yeah,
Fat Randy.
that's funny.
Fat Randy. Wait a minute. Didn't Sebastian Janikowski kick for the Houston Texans too?
Ooh.
I think he did, didn't he?
I have no idea.
He went somewhere else. Like he left.
Right.
Oh, or he left the Raiders. Am I just... No. What about Shane Leckler? Remember the punter? Do you remember him?
Played for 17 years.
I rip it.
Rip it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
He knows ball.
Hell yeah.
He's in a punter fantasy
Hell
league.
yeah. I knew Shane. Yeah, let's go.
He's in a punter fantasy league.
All right. Wow. It'd be really
what a
something if we could do
pull.
another specialist right here.
What a pull.
Can we do another one here? What?
Need some good mojo here.
I don't think Greg Joseph ever kicked for Cincinnati. I know he kicked for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Another former Browns kicker that I know.
Who was that Minnesota kicker who missed the 22
Blair Walsh. Blair Walsh.
Didn't
But
kick for-
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so
Blair
either.
Walsh actually kicked for the Raiders.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did he have 5,000 rushing yards?
That'd have been funny. That'd have been great. Did you, by the way, you want to talk about a weird stat?
Oh, boy.
Do you know that in standard fantasy leagues, going into Sunday night, Jared Goff had more standard fantasy points than Mark Andrews?
God. Pain. Absolute pain.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I have the Amon-Ra Jared Goff stack.
That is a stat. You always got a stack. Always got to have one
Always
stack.
got a stack.
My one
It's a struggle
stack.
so far,
I have Jamar and Joe Burrow in one
Burrow.
league, which
Yep.
is kind of paying dividends for
Yeah.
me right now. All right. Oh no, I was gonna say Austin Seibert because I know he went to Cincinnati, but I don't ever picture him kicking for Minnesota.
Right. What about linebackers?
Oh. Morton Anderson. Right? I know he was in Atlanta forever.
Mort.
I think that works.
Is it
I
with an
think
E?
that works. He played for a bajillion years.
No O's, 2 E's. All right. Rub it together.
Rub it together. Morton Anderson. Oh, damn, no! No!
Damn. Most popular. Irv Smith. Come on.
Oh, come on.
We were thinking tight end.
Go
Randy
back.
Randy Moss. Go back up.
Yeah, go click where it says show. You
Yeah.
see the 42?
Yep.
Click on that. I know it's got to show on the screen, but scroll down for a second. What do you got? Read it
We
for the
got
people,
Gus
please.
Frerotte, Scotty Graham, Jerome Simpson, Irv Smith, all players.
Anything?
Not
Anybody of
really.
note?
George Iloka.
Oh, there's a pull.
I
Safety,
guess.
right? Yeah.
I think so.
Morton Anderson, Saints, Falcons, Giants, Chiefs, Vikings, Falcons again.
Hardy Nickerson. Roosevelt Nix.
Fullback. Should have
Yep.
given that love there. That's a tough one. That would not have been easy.
Yeah.
Forgot about Irv Smith.
Jerome Simpson, man. Didn't he go 9th overall, something like that?
Yeah, running back, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Or wide receiver.
Pain.
That's correct. Second round for the Bengals for Jerome Simpson, though. Bengals, Vikings, 49ers. Yeah, that's what it would have been. All right, well done. Hey, it's practice this
Yeah.
week. It's all good. All right, let's do this. Catch the
Hurts
final.
nonetheless.
What's that?
It hurts nonetheless.
It hurts nonetheless. We want to get it, but it is what it is. All right, let's do time up when we return. Thursday night football, baseball tonight. We'll get our plays in for that. We'll send you on our way right after this. Stay with us. Fontana Show, Big Blood.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F.
Probably have to end a
Okay,
little
my bad.
early again today. Leo's got a dentist appointment at 11.
It's crisp and cool, and doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside.
He's on 3. So here's the fuck thing.
If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink garage beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Even though our strength of schedule is number 1 in the NFL, I think we have the dogs up front. We have the dogs in the back as it relates to our defense. Our defense alone keeps us in these games. Not even talking about offense. Let's just say Deshaun Watson isn't there. We got dogs on the defensive side that's mirroring the potential of the Ravens from 2001 or 2000 Ravens with Jamal Lewis and the boys and Ray Lewis and those guys.
Right.
They won. Again, no disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but they won without a high-powered offense.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby. As Authentic takes them around the far turn, 'tis the laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, 'tis the law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, we're back. Thought we were hitting the time hop thing. There you go, time hop. Let's go. I'm prepared for time hop. I was just waiting for the intro there. All good. Here we are. All right, let's get it going a little bit on the 3rd of October. We'll get to time up. We'll get to our wagers tonight for Thursday Night Football. But we start just 1 year ago today. Terry Francona officially steps down as the manager of the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, listen, he is going to be forever beloved in this town. We all love Tito. And I hope he shows up one of these games. If he's there Saturday or Monday and they put him on that Jumbotron, man, that wave. It's like Chubb. It's like when Chubb or Jim Donovan come out. It's like, yes, like just the wave. They need Terry at one of these games, man, over the next couple. It's going to be awesome. But I also, I would have to imagine that he's sitting there looking at this team just so proud. Proud of the job that Stephen Vogt has done, proud of everything, because this team is a reflection still of Terry. And for Vogt to pick it up as quickly as he did, to be able to kind of just grab the baton and keep going on. But you got to give the players credit for that too. The buy-in, but also what they learned under Terry. I know things weren't always great with him with the Mickey Callaway situation and everything. But what Terry was able to do for this team, for this town, to set the groundwork of what this team is, will forever be indebted for him. And I think he's going to go in the Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame or whatever they call it, Guardians Hall of Fame. He'll be there one day. The question is, Pat, do you think he's going to manage again? There's a lot of scuttlebutt around, like he might want, now that he's got his health things kind of figured out, does he want to get back into the game? I wonder. I really do.
I don't think he will because, the health thing is so fickle. It's
got grandkids now. I like spending time with them. Yeah.
162 games is probably 2/3 of the year,
Yeah.
And then you factor in spring training, that type of stuff. It's a lot of travel. It's a lot of not being in your home with grandkids, like that type of thing. I just don't think he's going to do it. I think I'm honestly shocked that he hasn't been more in the public eye, being like, oh, here I am on MLB Network. Not that he would sell out by any means, but I'm surprised he's not staying in the game as much as I would have thought. But I don't think he's going to.
Well, I just wonder if they would maybe have like an airman, a manager. They always go to the front office. They're like, hey, you're special advisor to this. And I'm sure he's been doing that. That might be a great way for him to keep around the game. Maybe he is. Maybe there is a little behind the scenes stuff going on with Terry and helping this team out. But I do hope he's at one of these games. I think that'd just be such a great boost for this team and for the fan base to do it. All right, we go back to a Browns game this day, 2021. A little bit of a low-scoring affair, but the Browns beat the Vikings 14-7. I remember this because that was Kevin Stefanski's return to Minnesota in 2021. So now let me set the stage for this season, right? We started out, remember, made the playoffs in 2020. Come out the gate in 2021, we lose to the Chiefs. Then you went on a 3-game win streak, including this one. We beat them 14-7. Kareem Hunt had a rushing touchdown. Baker only threw for $155, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Because here's the weird thing. They scored a touchdown on their opening drive. Kirk Cousins took them down the field and threw it to Justin Jefferson. Then we score a touchdown to make it 6-7 because we failed on the 2-point. No, wait a minute. No, that's what it was. Kareem Hunt ran in a touchdown. Then They went for 2. We got it to make it 8-7. Then we kicked a field goal to make it 11-7. Then we kicked another field goal to make it 14. We did not score 2 touchdowns. This game finished with only 2 touchdowns. 14-7 was the score and a 2-point conversion. Rashard Hollywood Higgins, your leading receiver. Odell, 2 catches for 27 yards. Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, KJ. Remember when those were the 3? And everybody's like, man, look at Minnesota going. And they only got in the end zone once there. But 14-7, we improved to 3-1 on the year. Now, the crappy thing is we finished 8-9.
One of those ugly games, man.
So you went out the rest of the way we finished 8-9, starting 3-1. So you went 5-8 on the way out to lose it out there. But
and that was one of the so Odell had a go route up the far sideline, and Baker overthrew him or didn't see him, something like that, and Odell absolutely lost his mind. That was kind of the beginning of the end because you remember that? Yeah, that was a really tough one because he had him wide open. I think he overthrew him a little bit too far, and Odell couldn't get there, but that was kind of the beginning of Odell's dad putting some tweets out there. As well.
That's kind of how that goes. All right,
that's before the town that we live in.
Yeah, right. Back before I would say back before Twitter was a thing, but it was kind of I vividly remember this game, Thursday Night Football, Browns Bills. We get a 37-24 win over Buffalo. Brian Hoyer got the start, but he only went 2 out of 4 for 25 yards before he got hurt. Brandon Whedon came in, went 13-24 for a touchdown and a $197. Willis McGahee had a rush for a touchdown on 72 yards. Josh Gordon caught the 1 touchdown, which I think was an over route in the back of the end zone. You want to know why that game reminds me so much? So we beat the Bills. We improved to 3-2. They fought at 2-3. EJ Manuel got hurt in the game, had to go out for Jeff Toole, and obviously we were able to get the win. Fred Jackson had 2 rushing touchdowns, but here's what I remember. We won the game. It was kind of sloppy, and you had to put Brandon Whedon into the game. Bro, he went over to that Thursday Night Football set and thought he was the cat's ass. He was sitting there like, yeah, man, look at that win for me. I don't even remember. I think he might have smoking a cigar. So, and Brandon, I don't know why I remember this.
Come on, brother,
black, had the backwards hat on, and he was sitting there like, yeah, look at me, man. And I go, shut the f up. You got to do a game against a bad Bills team. You did all right and got a win. Like, shut up. I don't know why. That just always, like, sticks in my head. TJ Ward had a pick 6 in that game. Yep. 44 yards.
I remember that defense.
I remember
they were a really good defense, man. They were stingy with it, and they were
DeQuell Jackson, 14 tackles, Ataba Ruman, Buster Screen, Craig Robertson, TJ Ward, Tashawn Gibson, Joe Hayden, Barkevius Mingo, Phil Taylor on that defense. Ismaili Kitchen. Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Remember him? He was on there? Yeah. Yeah, that was that defense. Improved to 3-2. Was that under Pett, right? Yeah, that was Mike Pett, 2013. That was him. There you go. This day, 2013. This day, 1997. 69-year-old Gordie Howe suits up and plays for the Detroit Vipers of the International Hockey League, becoming the first player to play in 6 different decades on a professional setting for hockey. Now, the International Hockey League, that's what the Lumberjacks were in. They were not in the AHL. They were not in the NHL. They were in the IHL, the old defunct IHL Hockey League for Gordie Howe. This is a big one this day, 1995. O.J. Simpson found not guilty. How the fuck? Now, the thing is, now that O.J. has passed, and obviously I'm not involved, and I feel bad for Nicole Brown Simpson's family and Ron Goldman's family and all that. We will never get him to say I did it. And I thought about it. Like,
he said, if I did it.
Yeah, he wrote a freaking book, If I Did It.
Hypothetically.
But you'll never, I don't want to say payoff, because 2 people lost their lives, and I'm not involved in it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you never got him to actually fully admit that he did it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's, we all know he probably did. Like, and for him not to like put it on a piece of paper and say you could open this when I die,
right?
You know, because that would probably be, then he'd be culpable. Probably they could sue his kids. Like there was a civil lawsuit he was found guilty in. So imagine a civil lawsuit that he paid money to the families for them passing away, but he was not found guilty in the criminal trial, which is just absolutely insane. But he was found not guilty this day, 1995. This day, 1993. Indians played their final game at Municipal Stadium. Of course, torn down. Jacobs Field, which was just perfect. I like our stadium, man. I love
gorgeous.
the ballpark, the backdrop.
It's my favorite place.
You know, the renovations are going on, which are, I think, going to help a lot of things, but I really do love our ballpark. It's got some character. What other ballparks have you been to? I've been to Cincinnati. I've been to Detroit. I've been to Baltimore, actually. Camden Yards is really nice.
It's beautiful.
I've been to Wrigley, and I've been to Fenway.
Okay.
Fenway's
the two
a
older
dump.
ones. What do you think of the two?
Fenway's a dump.
Yeah,
it's a dump. And now, again, they built,
Boston? Yeah,
you know,
that makes sense.
Yawkey Ways. Well, there's Yawkey Ways, and there's just bars and stuff. You get into the actual ballpark, and it's a piece of crap. You know, they try to update as much as you can. The one thing was I was on a tour for it, and you ever see the town?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they go, this is the scene. This is the entrance where they shot that scene of them crashing through and shooting the town. That's all I really cared about. Fenway's kind of a dump. You know, Wrigley is too, but they're also just trying to do the best they can to update. I look at it this way, man. If they could tear down Yankee Stadium, you could tear down any stadium. You can rebuild it, put it right back where you need it to, but they're kind of dumps. Camden Yards is really nice. Comerica's not bad. Cincinnati's fine.
Yeah, since he's fine, it's just like when it's empty, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Because it's a concrete behemoth.
Yeah.
Like, it is wider than Progressive Field is, that type of thing. But I don't know. We had Curtis Danberg on the Bruce Drennan show yesterday, and he was talking about how many other teams have gotten new, stadiums and ballparks since we opened this place. Other teams have played in 2 ballparks since we opened this ballpark in nearly 30 years ago. I think it's held up more than its own. And honestly, there's so many memories in the new ballpark too that are indispensable anyway. So
yeah, no, and again, I like just the backdrop, the layout, all that kind of stuff is pretty awesome. This day, 1974, Frank Robinson becomes the first ever African-American manager in baseball history. He signed with the Indians to be a player and manager for $180,000 for the year. Pretty good deal back then. This day, 1863, thank President Lincoln for proclaiming Thanksgiving as a national holiday. Number 2 for me.
Yes, sir.
Halloween, Thanksgiving.
Did he say the Lions have to play on that day or no?
No, you know what?
Cowboys,
they missed that.
Well, that was in the address. That was in the Gettysburg Address.
It was in the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah,
absolutely.
right.
I do decree that the Lions and the Cowboys. Now now it's like you want the Now I kind of want the Cowboys off.
Yeah.
The Lions are fine. Get the Cowboys off my screen. I'd live with it. It's fine. Now they added the Thursday night game. It's not so bad anymore because you can get it all, jazzed up for that. I'll sit down. I'd watch JV games at that point. You're just sitting out watching football. So them being on it. Now that the Lions are good, it's fine. But Thanksgiving, proclaimed as a national holiday this day, 1863. Very happy birthday goes out to Dave Winfield, Dennis Eckersley, Fred Couples, Boom Boom, Anquan Bolden, Gwen Stefani, Al Sharpton, ASAP Rocky, Tommy Lee. There's our second Motley. That's not weird how Motley Crue, that just comes around, man. It always does. It always does.
The third?
Nev Campbell. Are they making another Scream? They are, because I think she's coming back.
I think
Kevin
so.
Robinson of the Backstreet Boys and Sean William Scott. That was in sync.
That's in sync. Oops. We're just gonna go right past that.
No, we
were talking about in sync yesterday. It formed yesterday or something.
That's
like
right. I said it's weird how time hop works. Stuff like that comes up. No, Backstreet Boys is there's a GIF or meme, and I think it's Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, and he's screaming, and the caption is me. I have this fear of the Backstreet Boys, and the therapist goes, "Well, why?" Or no, tell me why. And he goes, "Tell me why." I was peak.
The internet is a good place. Man.
Peak. The internet can be a really good place at times, but I was peak. I liked NSYNC a little more than Backstreet Boys. But I will tell you, at my wedding with my wife, we made sure that there were multiple of both those songs.
Sure. And I mean, my cousin Katie said in that era of music that the Spice Girls were going to be bigger than the Beatles, and
kind of flamed out.
My uncle has not let her live that down.
Yeah, kind of flamed out just a little bit. All right, 3:40 today. 1 movie, 2 TV shows before we get to our plays for tonight. First up, The Lone Movie. This day, 2003. This has a very musical impact on this movie. 2003.
2003, man. School of Rock.
That is correct.
Matt, that's actually my favorite movie.
Really?
It's my favorite movie.
Really? It's a good
I
flick.
used to watch it, oh my God, all the time with my family.
All right, these ones are a
I'm
little
going to text the family group chat now.
Oh, there you go. There, do it. Tell them today's the day.
Today's the day.
All right, these ones are before your time. We'll see how you do it, though. We start with an American sitcom debuted this day, 1961. See, I don't give it away. a really famous longtime comedian and actor. This was his own show. And it follows the life of Rob Petrie, who's the head writer for a fictitious variety show in New York. Revolves around he with his wife, who was played by an actress who eventually got her own TV show of her own name, and their young son. Oh, man. I just don't know how to lay it. I don't know how to give it to you without laying it up here. All right. This actor has it's blank, blank, blank. He's got like 3 parts of his name.
Oh, okay. Man. That's funny because what popped in my head was Mary Tyler Moore, but that is not correct.
She was the actress.
She was the actress.
She was the actress that played his wife and then got her own show.
The Mary Tyler Moore show.
That Mary Tyler Moore show. This guy's a little different, though. But you're right. Right on it. He was. This actor made many guest appearances on the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
Diagnosis Murder.
I can picture him, but
that's tough.
I don't think I'm going to get it.
The Dick Van Dyke Show. Dick Van Dyke Show is a tough one. So that's all right. I'll give you a pass on that. Now, this one I think
it was
you might
gettable,
get.
though.
And this one is very gettable. I think you'll get it. This day, 1960, follows the life of a small-town sheriff.
That would be the Andy Griffith Show.
That's correct.
Shout out. That's a good. That was a good one.
Andy Griffith Show, solid.
Yeah.
Very solid. You know, my parents love.
Dick Van Dyke was gettable. A little disappointed in that one.
I think that's a failure on my part. I don't think I had good guesses for you on that. No. Who was the bum guy, the crazy guy in Andy Griffith's show?
Geez. Well, they had Merv or something like the other.
Well, Barney was his friend. Barney Fife, played by Don Knotts. Aunt B, who we know, of course, Opie. And then Goober and Gomer Pyle.
That's what I was thinking.
Which, again, there was a spinoff of Gomer Pyle, Marine Corps or whatever.
Right.
God, I know my parents are going to, they watch, my parents love this show. They're going to be texting me. They're like, oh, what do you mean? Was it Otis? Yeah, Otis Campbell, the town drunk who lets himself into jail to sleep it off. That is right. Otis Campbell was the guy from Andy Griffith's show, so that's exactly where it is. So well done on that. All right, let's get to our plays tonight. Oh, solid game. Buccaneers, Falcons. Here we go. Our line. Okay, I have not even looked. I'm going to say Falcons -2.5.
Okay.
I haven't even looked.
I don't even know where is the game.
It's in Atlanta. Falcons -1.5. All right, so here we go. Baker Mayfield has only played once on the road on Thursday Night Football. Last year, losing 24-18 to the Bills on the road. Again, he beat, remember when he opened the fridges, but that was at home. So he's only played once on the road for Thursday Night Football, and he lost as a 10-point underdog, but only lost by 6 to the Bills. Overall in his career, Baker is 2-1 straight up and against the spread on Thursday Night Football. He is 7-4 against the spread in his career on short rest, covering the spread in 5 straight regular season games, again on short rest. He's even better as an underdog on short rest, 5-2, making a top 10 mark in the NFL over the last 20 years. Overall, Baker's lost his last 5 regular season night starts against the spread, 2 with the Bucs, 1 with the Rams, and 2 with the Browns. Over the last 3 seasons, this is an over-under. By the way, Action Network has all of this. Shout out to the Action Network. They're the best. The under is 21-12 when Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback, meaning a $100 better would be up $700 just betting the under on Baker Mayfield. Against divisional opponents, Baker Mayfield's been bad at home at just 4-10 against the spread, but 9-8 against the spread on the road against divisional foes. Kirk Cousins has 43 career games in prime time, which are high-profile night playoffs or overseas or Saturday. In those games, he is 18-24-1 straight up and just 17-24 against the spread. So everybody talks about primetime Kirk, but he's not really there. Now, recently, his last 12 starts in primetime, he is 8-4 straight up and 5-7 against the spread. But covering the issue has been the problem. He is just 3-7 against the spread in his last 10 primetime starts. So again, he covered the 2 prior, and then he's been on a streak of being bad there as well. Overall, last 5 seasons, Kirk Cousins 14-27 against the spread, playing indoor games, including just 1-10 against the spread. Is the last 11 games indoors, which is where he plays at home now. Falcons are just 2-10 against the spread their last 12 games after a straight up win. Kirk Cousins just 30, 43-2. A cover percentage is just 41 after a straight up win, including covering just 36% of the time at home following a win. That is the second worst mark for an against the spread quarterback following a win in the last 20 years. Only Jay Cutler was worse than him on that. In divisional games on short rest, favorite and road teams have had the advantage. Favorites are 97, 79, and 5 against the spread, but road teams are 99, 76, and 5 over the last 20 years. That's a big historical stat. What that tells you is on short rest, division games, take the favorite in the home. Now, the problem is, favorite in the road. That's why it's split. Road for the Bucs, home or favored slight for the Falcons. Bucs are off a win as underdogs last week. Since 2003, teams coming off a straight-up win as an underdog in their next game cover just 43% of the time. 2-2 for the Falcons, 3-1 for the Buccaneers coming in. Buccaneers are 8-3 against the spread their last 11 games. Against Atlanta, Tampa is 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games. They are 9-2 against the spread their last 11 games on the road for the Buccaneers. For Atlanta, just 1-5 against the spread their last 6, 3-6 straight up in their last 9, and they are just 2-8 against the spread their last 10 games at home. Atlanta, 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games on Thursday Night Football. Here's the thing about the Bucs. They're injured. Antoine Winfield out. Offensive tackle Luke Goedeke out. And Kalijah Kancey is out. Trey Palmer, Jalen McMillan out. Vita Vea's not 100%. That was kind of my worry about last week with them playing the Eagles, but the Eagles were more hurt. There are injuries here on this. Over their last 11 games, just this season. The Bucs have wins over the Eagles, Lions, and Commanders, all really good team at a plus 38-point differential in those 3 games, and the Bucs have covered 8 out of their last 11. The Falcons' favorites are not good. Atlanta 2-2 this year with a negative point differential, and I mentioned they've only covered 2 out of their last 12 games. I'm riding the Bucs. I'm big Buccaneer believer here.
Wow.
I'm going to take them not only on the money line, but I'm better off just taking a -2.5. Wow. Right? Can I flip that spread?
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. -2.5 gets me to plus 120.
You don't think they're going to have an emotional letdown after that big win over the Eagles?
They were up,
28-0
It's possible. It's possible. Mm-hmm. I kind of look at Atlanta. I think there's a lot of pressure on them. They're struggling. I think there's a lot of pressure on them. Here's the thing. I got a rule for Thursday Night Football. It's usually done me pretty well. Dogs and under. Yep. So maybe I'll just do that dogs and under. We'll see how it goes. Quickly, Pat, your play, please.
Oh, yeah. No, I think I'm taking the Falcons.
You're going to have to play for Ryan this week.
Begrudgingly, I think I'm going to take the Falcons. So
we'll split. I'll take the... you're going to give me a 1.5. I'll take it. I will take the Bucs.
But I'm with you on the under. I
love the under for
I
this.
bet unders on almost every Thursday night game, and it comes through.
It always helps you out. 45.5. 45.5 is your number right there, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Quick tonight, Mets-Brewers, who we got. The stats tell you the Mets got to take this because they took game 1.
Right.
It's overwhelming that it should be the Mets.
Man, did you see that Jesse Winker and Willie Adames? They were fighting when Winker was on third base and Adames was at shortstop.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
think I'm taking the Brewers. They're still at home, correct? I think.
Yeah. All 3 games are played there. Yeah, all 3 are played there.
I think the talent's going to win out. I think Milwaukee.
Here's your pitching matchup for tonight. Jose Quintana. That creep can throw, man. That creep can throw for you. Tobias Myers goes for the Brewers. Milwaukee is a -130 favorite. Over under 7.5. You think an offensive explosion in this game?
Well, we said it the past 2 days. So I guess this time, with their number 3 starters coming in, I think it's going to be a quick hook, like you said earlier.
Yeah. Tobias was 9-6 this year with a 3 ERA. Quintana, who some people wanted the Guardians to go get 10-10 with a 3.7.
He doesn't do anything for me.
Doesn't do it?
Nah, I think the Brewers. I'll take the minus 130. Yeah.
All right, there you go. There it is. I appreciate everybody joining us. Football Friday tomorrow for all of our picks, and we'll get you off to the weekend then. For Pat McGuire, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.